Hi everybody, John Randall here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the blues. This is in response to a request from Purple Bass on YouTube. So the blues that I talked about last time was Sweet Home Chicago, and I'm going to use that one again. And really what the focus of this discussion is going to be about is some of the fills that you can use, really simple fills, plus also some of the transitions that you can use to move between the chords in the blues. So Sweet Home Chicago is in the key of E. So typically 12 bar blues will have 4 bars of E, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of E, a bar of B, a bar of A bar of E again, and then usually some sort of turnaround. And that's true in Sweet Home Chicago, especially the first, the introduction where Eric Clapton doesn't start singing. Once he does actually start singing, things are a little bit different in that instead of having 4 bars of E, you'll actually hear the chords change E, A, E, E. So there's an A thrown in there. Just makes it a little more interesting. But all the fills that I do when I do the little play along here in a bit and the transitions, they all kind of work. Doesn't matter which chords you're going between. But what I'm going to do is play along and then what I'll try and do is stop after a couple of verses and talk through some of the different fills that I actually use. So here we go, starting here on E. Going to use the A and the B here as well. So that's enough kind of play along. Let's talk through some of those fills now. So working on the E just by itself, we can play E's. So that's E, A, B, and D. Okay, so that's kind of a cool little fill when you're grooving on the E. You could also kind of play it in reverse. So what I was doing, a couple of variations there, was I went from the E to the D to the B, back to the D. That's one fill. And then the other one I did was I went from the E to the D to the B and to the A. Down there, okay? So you've got that one, then this one, and lastly, okay, so there are a couple of fills you can use around E. Now when we get to the A, you can obviously sit on the A, okay, but to make it a little bit more interesting, you can play a sort of, it's basically an A major pattern where we play I'm playing A, C sharp, D, D sharp, and then E, and that works really well, particularly when you're going from the A back to the E. So if you're just kind of grooving on the A, maybe you could just go, okay, in that case I skipped the D sharp, so I went A, C sharp, D, and straight to the E. I skipped out that D sharp there. But if we take, say, the fifth and the sixth bar of a typical blues progression in E, the chord we're playing over is A for 2 bars. So maybe the first time you play the A, you can do, and then the second time you can throw in that D sharp, and that's going to lead your bass line back to the E, which is going to be the next chord. It'll be the 7th chord. So let me put that together. I'm going to play 4 bars of E, and then I'm going to do the 2 variations on A, and you'll see how the last variation steps me back up to the E again. So here we go. E. Okay, here we go. So I kind of messed it up a little bit there, and I kind of played around with the timing. But you get the idea how you can walk from the A back up to the E. Kind of works really well. Okay, so a couple of other things you can do. A different way to get from A back to E is to just walk down the bass. So you could go, so we go A, G, F sharp, F, and the next note is E. So that's another cool way to get from A back to E. So those walks are not so much fills, they're more transitions to get you from one note to another. Coming back the other way, when we're going from E to A, you can just use that simple which was basically one of the fills that I talked about at the very start, E, D, B, A. And when you want to get from A to E, you've got lots of cool variations. You can go A, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, or you could walk down the bass, A, G, F sharp, F, E, or open E. So that's a couple of different things you can do there. Now, when it comes to the B, you can do a very similar pattern to what you use with the A major. You could play B, so B, D sharp, E, and then F sharp. That kind of works well. And typically, after you do the B chord, you're going to go back to the A chord, because the place that we see the B in the blues progression is it's usually coming up in about the 9th bar. Okay, so you're going to play 1 bar of B, you could actually put a little passing note in there, that A sharp on the way to the A. And then finally we do the turnaround, which can be E, D, C sharp, C, B, open A, B flat, and B. Okay, so that's a turnaround, happens on the last couple of bars. So, and just coming back to some of this again, we've got some grooves in E. Okay, then we move to the A. Back to the E. So there were 2 bars of A there. Back to the E. 2 bars. And then to the B. And then to the A. And you notice I threw that extra little note in there so I can do the turnaround. This is on the 11th bar, 11th and 12th bars of the blues progression. Open A, B flat, B. So let me kind of just groove around on some of these. You've probably got a good feel now for the sorts of notes that I'm using. These box shapes work great, you know, so it doesn't matter whether you're on the E, whether you're on the A, you can use all of the notes that are typically directly under or above the frets you're playing. So, you know, the safe notes when you're playing over the A are the A, the D, the E, the G, and then that high A there. Okay, they all work really well. And you can kind of see a box shape forming here. It's kind of those frets there and those frets there. You could throw the B in as well. Same thing works well for the B. They're really safe notes. You've got the B, the E, the F sharp. You've got an A, high A up here, and then another B, of course. So, or the A. Or you can get a little more sophisticated in the sound and break away just from using those box shapes, and you can throw some of the extra notes in, like the notes the major third. Gives a kind of more of a walking feel, which is neat. But always be thinking, in a blues, there's two things you're doing. One is you're playing grooves and riffs, and the other thing you're doing is you're thinking about how can I get from my groove in whatever chord I'm on, be it the E, the A, or the B, how can I walk towards the next chord? So, like with the A, I'm grooving away on the A, and I want to get to the E, then that walked me all the way up to the E. And you can use that pretty much throughout. You can always, whatever note you're trying to get to, in this case I was trying to get to an E, but if you're trying to get to the B, you might be able to go from wherever you are and just kind of walk up chromatically, 1, 2, 3, 3 notes before that one to get to where you're going. So give that all a bit of a try, see what you think. I'm not sure how well I've explained it. If you'd like to have a live lesson with me, then I can certainly Skype, or and there's no charge for that. So see how you go with this. Hope you find it useful, and don't forget to check out my website, www.johnrandall.com. Okay, and we'll see you at a lesson. Otherwise, hopefully I'll put up some more videos. Bye.